welcome back to Mike and Lakai's channel, Long and Strong.
What's going on, everybody?
All right, y'all. So today we're going to talk about how to address your partner without making them feel attacked. So, you want me to start?
Yeah, you go right ahead.
Okay, so what I mean by that, or what we mean by that, is like how you talk to your partner in the heat of an argument. So, like, instead of attacking them, telling them how you feel, right? Because when you tell them how you feel, is they might understand it better, and they might not feel like they being attacked, or like they just can't get nothing right, or they're not doing enough in the relationship or something like that. So what I mean by that is, if like Mike did something to me, instead of me going, "You're so horrible. You're the worst person ever," I would instead go, "When this happened, you made me feel like I didn't matter to you, or you hurt my feelings. And I responded the way I did because I didn't know how else to react, and I didn't know how else to get my point across. So, in the response of me being upset, that's just kind of how it came off. I felt like I had no other choice but to respond the way I did, basically. So just making I statements, right? Not you did this, you're so wrong, and blah blah blah. Just leaving it from your within self, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I'm kind of in between, I guess. Um, I'm gonna just tell you what's on my mind. I mean, hopefully it doesn't hurt your feelings. I guess if you think you're feeling attacked, it ain't meant to be attacked. It just means that that's how I felt, and this is what you did. I didn't like it, or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope it don't hurt your feelings. But I'm not attacking you if I'm talking to you of what I didn't like or whatever you did or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, but it's how you say it though. So like you said, you'll say how you felt and you'll say what the person did. That makes sense.
now, when you say it's how you say it, you still have to know that person on how they talk.
Mm-hmm.
So they may say stuff one way, but it's not meant to be attacked to attack the person.
Mm-hmm.
So
But if you can talk a certain way, but if you know your partner it may be a bit sensitive, then you should also try to cater to their feelings as well. So, for example, if you were the type of person who used the B word or something a lot, but I can't stand being called out of my name, I would hope that in the heat of an
that's
argument that you would not be like be this and be that, knowing that that hurts my feelings, and you would instead be like, you know what, this is what happened, and this is how I feel about it.
right, but that's different though. That's name calling.
Okay, so what else?
Yeah, that's name calling. Like if you know I'm a certain way, you know I act a certain way. Um, well, if I know you act a certain way, and I know that's how you are and that's how you talk,
Hmm.
I'm not going to take offense to that.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Hi, Michelle. Thank you for watching. Welcome. Do you have anything to say about this? I don't know if you caught the beginning of that, but if you do, let us know. What are your thoughts? So we're talking about how to have a healthy argument with your partner without making them feel attacked. And so we kind of have different viewpoints on that, because I feel like no matter how I talk, or how I perceive something, that I can still be able to communicate with my partner how my feelings were hurt without making them feel like you keep messing up, you're so wrong, you do this, you, right? Instead it's I my feelings are hurt because in this moment you made me feel like I didn't mean anything to you, or you made me feel worthless, or whatever the case, however somebody would have made you feel in that moment. Just use an I statement so that it can come from a I perspective, not a you just keep effing up perspective.
I mean, I totally agree with that
Yeah.
in that form, right? But in as tone wise, yeah, you probably shouldn't yell. I'm not gonna yell, but tone wise, I hope a person don't get offended to that, because I mean they in the heat of the moment.
Yeah,
I
but
ain't
you
saying yell. Yeah, don't
yeah.
yell at me.
Right. Yeah, definitely watch your tone
Cause I'm
too.
gonna look at you like this.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, definitely tones too.
That's how I'm gonna look at you.
Tones. Tones are big because if you're yelling at somebody, even if you're saying I stuff, they still feel attacked, right? So trying to just posture yourself and just remind yourself like don't overreact. I mean, it could be something you have to overreact to, but
It
just
might be passionate.
yeah, you can be passionate about it, but I don't have to yell at you because I'm passionate. It's okay. Let me take a moment. If I'm feeling too on edge, we can even take a pause and then go back into it. Let's see what she has said. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I used to be bad at that with the that's just how I am. And he took it as I didn't want to change, but you grow and you learn. Yes, I agree with that. Some people have that attitude, like that's just how I am. I'm gonna be who I'm gonna be, and you can't change me, type stuff. But again, like you said, you grow and you learn, and you learn how to, in a way, cater to your person's sensitivities, right? If I know that you get sensitive with yelling, then I'm not gonna yell at you, even if I'm super mad. I feel like I'm not going to what.
I'm not sensitive to yelling.
No, that was
It's
an example.
oh, okay.
Yeah, no.
But
Yeah.
I'm just going to look at you like this.
You will, but we trying to help other people, babe. So if somebody
Just looked
else,
at him like this.
oh my goodness.
Nah, but for real, I understand. I
Yeah.
understand.
You're my favorite streamer, and I look up to you. Oh, love you too, King Brody. Thank you for uh, watching our channel.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, what are y'all thoughts and opinions about, being able to calm yourself down? And even like I know people say don't go to bed mad. I used to believe in that, but sometimes I believe that if you really need a mental break before addressing something, then have that mental break. Sometimes approaching something right in the moment can make things a little bit even harsher, right? So if you need
That's true.
to, yeah, like if you need to say, like, you know what, I'm very upset and I don't know how I'm going to respond in this moment, I think that we should take a break so that I don't say the wrong thing, then say that, right? Because if you don't, then you can damage the relationship even further because all you're doing is yelling it and pointing blame and blaming the other person when 9 times out of 10 you both have a part in it. Now, sometimes whoever did something probably was the main causer, but telling them how you felt about what they did, I mean, it can hurt even more from them just hearing how bad they hurt you instead of feeling like you mother effer, blah blah blah. Like
Yeah, I won't say that.
yeah. No, we don't cuss at each other. I mean,
Mm.
yeah, I don't really cuss at people. I don't really feel like I need to. I mean, if I'm in a outside and somebody driving to piss me off, then I'll probably be like, "You stupid thing, get out the way," something like that. But when it comes to like my friends and family,
Right, exactly.
that's not how I talk to people.
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
I genuinely have, I care for, right? So yeah. But if you are like that and you notice that your partner is not like that, then figure out ways to communicate more effectively. Because if you don't, I mean, some people thrive off that type of communication, right? But you also have to, if you want to maintain a healthy relationship, figure out what's healthy for you. If it's healthy for you to be yelling and cussing all the time, then do that. But if your partner is not desiring a cussing and fussing relationship, but you are that type of way, then y'all need to figure out a way to compromise and have healthy conversations without it always going to a million. Let's see.
Yeah, shutting down ain't always the good thing. Sometimes it is, but more majority of the time it ain't because the problem don't get solved.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gotta read her comments so they know. So, someone, Michelle said, I also used to shut down when we had an argument, but I agree with y'all. So that's what he's responding to. If you guys are watching.
yeah, but now like she said, taking the time out and then going back to discuss it whenever you less heated,
Mm-hmm.
then you can become the focus on the issue. Because sometimes when you're mad, you'll bring up some shit from 2 weeks ago that ain't
Mm-hmm.
got shit to do with the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But why you mad today?
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't gonna listen to that.
Yeah. And that's too why it's important for people. Like, yeah, shutting down is some people protective factor, right? But if you shut down and you don't necessarily at some point address what's going on, like he said, it's always going to come up. It's always going to be the reason why you're arguing because you never figured out what's the source of what you're really mad at. So you're thinking about what happened 3 years ago because it never got talked about and the cards were never laid on the table. You keep shutting down because you just feel like, oh, this is a cycle, right? But it's like it don't work like that because at the end of the day, if you always shutting down, nothing's getting resolved and you're just creating negative space for you and your partner. And then let's see. I feel like yelling and cursing doesn't get you anywhere. Like you said, take a minute apart, then come back and talk about it like adults. Yes, exactly. And some people don't get that because it just also depends on what you watched growing up. Growing up, if you didn't see a lot of people be able to use their words or take a moment and regather themselves, then yes, then that you probably grew up to be that way. But as an adult, you recognize sometimes where you need to be the person that changes how you react to things. Just because you saw or watched somebody do something don't mean you got to be like that. You know, we all have this, oh, that's how it was growing up, or that's just how I am, like we said before. But it's just like, I mean, I've seen a lot of horrible stuff growing up, but I decided to be the opposite because I decided I want to have a healthy relationship someday. So yes, I've seen people cussing and fighting, pepper spray, and all police, all type of stuff going on. But it was just like, no, I don't want to be like that. I want to have a solid foundation. I want to be able to talk and communicate effectively with my partner. And so that's why I feel like me and you work so well together because again, you are a communicator. You say what's on your mind. You're not never disrespectful with it. You're calm. We decide when we're going to talk about things, and then it goes from there. Right? Yeah, sis. Um, anything else you want to say?
And sometimes shutting down could just mean that the issue to that person ain't as big as it is to you.
Right.
So,
And that's important too because it's not big to them but it's big to you or vice versa. But at the end of the day, if your partner thinks it's big, then it's big. You can't tell somebody how much to care about something. If they feel passionate about it, then still be a good enough partner to be able to listen and understand where they're coming from. And that's why the partner that's more passionate should use I statements because if your partner actually cares about you, then they will understand how they made you feel. You know, like,
I agree.
yeah, shutting down. I mean, it's cool, but it don't get you nowhere. It really don't.
I agree.
And you can just, like he said, just stare at me. But if you're not attuning to my feelings when I'm trying to tell you, like, man, I'm actually really hurt. Like, I feel like if you just keep shutting down on me, how are we gonna grow and continue to build if you just sitting here staring at me and you're not saying anything? Now I know that's only if I was yelling or
Yeah, I'm
something.
just looking. Like,
Yeah, if I know if that's yelling in a yelling situation, but I would never yell at you. I ain't like that. Um, keep it that way. Communication takes the relationship a long way. Yes, long and strong, baby. But yeah, if you guys have watched this today and you have anything you want to comment or say or any tips, please always feel free to like and comment our videos. We appreciate y'all for watching. And then also we do sell games. It's called Real Conversation for dating and new couples to get to know one another. Ask various questions about present, past, and future, and goals, and everything else. Just a bunch of questions. So let us know if you want to buy one. Free shipping if you're in the state of, or if you're in the city of Phoenix or Altus. And yeah, just let us know. We've been getting really good feedback. We've sold out twice so far, and people have been telling us that it's like an actual helpful game for them to get to know one another. So let us know. Anything else you want to say?
yeah, check the game out.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, it was good to see y'all this Friday. If you celebrate Easter coming up, we hope you have a fun and safe time. And if you don't, still have a great weekend. Pray us out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jesus, we hope everybody has had a nice week and that they go into their weekend with positivity, love for themselves and others, and treat others how they want to be treated. Unless they want to be treated poorly, then still let them treat others nice. Amen.
Amen.
All right, deuces, gooses.
See y'all later.
Oh, thank you. We love you too, Michelle. Mwah.
Appreciate it.